So what I've done is I've taken a summary of his summary, okay, and we're going to do a section now. This will take a few minutes to get through, where I'm going to go through each of the protocols and read a very short extract from each of the protocols, Nick, just so that people have got a reasonable overview.
Yeah.
But obviously it is not a full overview by any means. You would need to read them in order to get to grips with them fully. But here's a flavour anyway. So Protocol 1. Morality is an obstacle to successful conquest and a liability to any political leadership. The goal is to scatter to the winds all existing forces for order and regulation, and to become the sovereign lord of those so stupid as to lay down their powers and fall for liberal entreaties. Protocol 2. Gentile leaders, meaning non-Jewish, administrators, will be chosen for their strict obedience and will be run by advisors. The Goyim can amuse themselves until the hour strikes. We have implanted the false doctrines by means of our press, arousing blind confidence in these theories. The press has fallen into our hands. It fashions the thought of the people. Its role is to express and create discontent. Thanks to the press, we have the gold in our hands, though we sacrifice many of our people. Each, in the sight of God, is worth 1,000 goyim. So we need to bear in mind this is written a long, long time ago, talking about that the press has fallen into their hands. Protocol number 3. We have made a gulf between the far-seeing sovereign power and the blind force of the people, so that both have lost all meaning. For like the blind man and his stick, both are powerless apart. So they're talking about they're controlling an entire nation by making sure that its sovereign isn't connected to the people or the goyim. Protocol 4. Freedom would be possible if it rested upon the foundation of faith in God, the brotherhood of humanity unconnected with the conception of equality, which is negated by the very laws of creation. This is the reason why it is indispensable for us to undermine all faith, to tear out of the minds of the Goyim the very principle of Godhead and the Spirit, and to put in its place material needs. Protocol 5. We shall create an intensified centralization of government in order to grip in our hands all the forces of the community. We shall regulate mechanically all the actions of the political life of our subjects with new laws. In order to put public opinion in our hands, we must bring it into a state of bewilderment by giving expression from all sides to so many contradictory opinions, to make the Goyim lose their heads in the labyrinth and come to see that the best thing is to have no opinion at all in matters political. Protocol 6. In every possible way we must develop the significance of our super-government by representing it as the protector and benefactor of all those who voluntarily submit to us. Protocol 7. We must compel the government of the Goyim to fall in with our plan, already approaching desired consummation, by requiring them to obey public opinion, which we control through that great power already in our hands, the press. Protocol 8. For a time until there will no longer be a risk of entrusting responsible posts in our states to our brother Jews, we shall put them in the hands of persons whose past and reputation are such that if they disobey our instructions must face criminal charges or disappear. That is in order to make them defend our interests to their last grasp. That's very interesting. It's talking about blackmail, isn't it?
Yeah, right.
Protocol 9. We have taken control of the institutions of the Goyim using the chaotic license of liberalism. We have got our hands into the administration of the law, into the conduct of elections, into the press, into the liberty of the person, but principally into education and training as being the cornerstones of a free existence. Protocol 10. How indeed are the Goyim to perceive the underlying meanings of things when their representatives give the best of their energies to enjoying themselves? Protocol 11. We shall keep promising them to give back all the liberties we have taken away as soon as we have quelled the enemies of peace and tamed all parties. It is not worthwhile discussing how long they will be kept waiting for the return of their liberties. Protocol 12. The majority of the public have not the slightest idea what ends the press really serves. Protocol 13. We further distract the masses with amusements, games, art, sport, from questions in which we should find ourselves compelled to oppose them. Protocol 14. Our wise men trained to become leaders of the Goyim will compose materials which will be used to influence the minds of the Goyim, directing them towards such understanding and forms of knowledge as have been determined by us. Protocol 15. We hasten the death of those who hinder our affairs. Simple as that. Protocol 16. We shall swallow up and confiscate to our own use the last scintilla of independence of thought. We will turn the Goyim into unthinking, submissive brutes, waiting for things to be presented before their eyes in order to form an idea of them. Protocol 17. In our programme, 1/3 of our subjects will keep the rest under observation from a sense of duty, on the principle of volunteer service to the state. Protocol 18. We have broken the prestige of the Goy kings by frequent attempts upon their lives through our agents, blind sheep of our flock, who are easily moved by a few liberal phrases to crimes, provided only they be painted in political colours. Protocol 19. I hope we have succeeded in preventing the Goyim from adopting this means of contending with sedition. This means to taint it with some larceny or sexual abuse, and 2, to make a severe example of one offender. Protocol 20. Economic crises have been produced by us for the Goyim by no other means than the withdrawal of money from circulation. So they're talking about an orchestrated financial collapse there. Yeah. Protocol 21. In our hands is the highest power of our day, gold. Surely there is no need to seek further proof that our rule is predestined by God. All right, so that's a flavour anyway. As I say, people can read more if they wish.